Michael Gilbert, CEO of Semios. He'll be presenting our next topic, more data, more problems, why this doesn't need to be the case. Please give a warm welcome to Michael.
All right. Well, great to be back here again. It's been a couple of years. It's great to see some familiar faces and get back to some shaking hands and seeing folks in person again. Today I'm going to talk about more data and how it doesn't have to be a bigger problem and how we at Semios think about managing that. Well, problems we have, certainly have enough of them. The state of California is in, obviously, a vicious drought cycle with no near-end solution in sight. Obviously, we have some plans for some water reservoirs which aren't being built and not fast enough. But that's causing, obviously, a lot of our customers a lot of stress in thinking about the growing seasons. Next, we have, obviously, supply chain issues that are going on in many different places, and none the least for our customers. And so having products sitting around not being shipped means a lot more pressure on prices, and it's actually also affecting our supply chain for inbound inputs. So again, lots of challenges happening right now in ag, especially in California. And for problems to come, as we didn't have enough, obviously the availability of labor and the cost of labor is going to be increasing significantly over the next little while. So we need to start thinking about how do we manage people, how do we deploy people more effectively, and ideally introduce more automation into the orchard. So the world of ag tech today, and there's about 1,000 companies in the ag tech space, it is pretty much a patchwork of data sources. So today, most growers are having to seek out information and data from different suppliers. So you might have one supplier that provides plant health, another one that's providing the record keeping, and somebody else providing weather. And somehow the grower is supposed to find a way to bring this together to make decisions in a way that's going to be time efficient. And that obviously can present its own challenges. So the obvious solution is to put it all into one place. And I think a lot of companies are going to strive to do this and find a way to make this more available to our customers. But there are significant risks and challenges in creating a platform. For those who are not in tech, it may seem obvious. Why don't you put it all together? Here are three of the things that we think about when we think about building a platform for tech. The first is integrating different data sources. So there's a lot of different tech stacks, a lot of different types of databases, there's different cloud service providers, and these have to somehow be brought together into one place. And that takes a big investment in infrastructure, in data scientists and data engineers to kind of find a way to bring it together. And it requires a lot of cooperation between different companies who may not be inclined to cooperate. So that in itself can be a massive effort and challenge. Next, once you have that data in one place, you now have to invest in data scientists and agronomists to find correlations, find causation, and figure out what are those insights our customers need so we can drive better decisions. And that means trying to find ways to be more predictable and finding ways to forecast when things will happen. Given that labor costs are going up, most farmers are going to want to find a way to connect those insights or predictability to control systems in the field, whether it's an automated tractor, an automated delivery system for biologicals, or even irrigation control. So how do you connect those together is in itself a massive investment involving many different companies and different technologies in the back end. And I think the one area where a lot of ag tech companies will often come short, and that is to their detriment, is in the support required to deliver these solutions. This is not the Bay Area. This is not all on computers and phones. These are systems that are in fields, that are exposed to all kinds of conditions, and they simply will not keep on working on their own. So you need big investments to drive and support that ongoing technology. So when you're trying to build a platform, this is a lot to take on, and most companies don't have the bandwidth or the capital to take it on, which is how they often fall short. At Semios, we decided to change this a little bit, and we decided to offer the solutions as a service. So we offer precision agriculture as a service, and that includes the integration of different data sets and different tools into one place. We then work carefully on informing our customers as to what's happening, providing them mobile SMS indications ahead of time before it becomes an issue. We've connected to many different control systems for pest control, for water, for frost management, and that's allowing, again, growers to manage the increased labor costs. And finally, making a huge investment in support. So in the state of California alone, we have over 100 field technicians, we have about 10 offices, about 5 warehouses, and that allows us to actually be on site as soon as there's an issue. So we monitor all of our devices. We have over 3 million sensors on our network, monitor them 24/7, and when an issue comes up, we can be there in a timely fashion to ensure that the farmer is not the one exposed to any additional risk. And that takes a massive investment, that takes time. And one of the ways that we can make that efficient, because paradoxically, it's that we're using labor, which is also increasing for us as well. So we've had to build tools, not unlike what Uber does to make everyone a cab driver. We create tools that allow a lot of field techs to be way more efficient, to finding the source of the problem, getting there quickly, and managing that workflow. And the final step, and when you're trying to build a platform and create, I think, a data solution for customers, is bridging the trust gap that exists. We know that there have been a lot of tech companies coming through the Central Valley with solutions. We see evidence of these things out in the field that customers have bought that are no longer supported, the companies are gone, and they don't have the ability to support those technologies. So we need to keep on working on that, and that's on us, is to find ways to bridge that trust gap and find a way to connect the growers to what the true value is from tech, which is enabling them to de-risk farming operations. One of the ways that we think is important in building trust with growers is remaining independent. And so one of the concerns that we know the industry has is that where's this data sitting, and what happens if it changes hands? What happens if the company gets acquired? What if they're tied to somebody else? And how do I manage that? The data you make, the decisions you make, are often your secret sauce. They what make you competitive in an environment that's obviously you're working hard at, and you've built that knowledge, and that does belong to you. So how do you ensure that stays in place? And the next is, we know there's going to be lots of investment in platforms from Big Ag. Big Ag has a vested interest in finding out more about farms and having access to data about your farm so they can obviously deliver more products to you. And so we believe that in the grower's best interest, that whoever is the steward of the data remains independent, so they always have, first and foremost, the best interest of the customer in mind. And in the last year, we've been working hard at building a platform and making sure we do stay independent. So in the last year, these are the companies that have joined Semios. So we've made several acquisitions of products and companies. Alltrack provided us with a control system, so we can now connect directly to frost control systems as well as irrigation and pump control. Agro brought to us a plethora of data around planning farms, both pre-season and post-season, as well as managing the workflow and understanding some of the compliance issues around spray records. And our acquisition of Centricity also brought with us a lot of the recommendation systems for PCAs and how they track the records for their sprays. So this allowed us to bring more of this data together so that farmers aren't worried about how does data get transferred between companies and how do you connect these parts together to form a more valuable solution for our customers. So we ensure that the people we bring together share those values with us, that we understand what we're doing for the industry, that we're putting the growers first, and we're trying to remain independent and provide an all-in-one solution for our customers. The ultimate goal for us is to become the operating system for your farm. And so there's a lot of knowledge in the industry about how to grow crops, obviously, and you want this to be transferred from generation to generation. And I think you're going to need to have a partner that allows you to have an operating system on your farm to take care of your tech, whether it's the support on our end, whether it's boots on the ground, or whether it is how we're integrating with different companies. You need to have a centralized operating system to actually grow this part of your business and make sure it transfers from generation to generation. So we're here today with our partner companies. So AgWorld's here in the exhibition hall. Semios is here as well with Alltrack, and we'd love to speak to you. Come by and talk to our folks, and we can walk you through what we're doing today and certainly what we're planning to make your lives a lot easier. Thank you. Questions? Yeah, if there's any questions, I'm happy to take some. Otherwise, I'm here as well for the next few days. All right, enjoy the show.